So for those of you that are new to the channel, on this channel we talk about my imprisonment, my involvement in gangs, Rikers Island, a whole lot of things. We get into interviews, but from time to time I touch on my struggle with opiates and any other drug addiction that I've had during my course of growing up in the streets of New York City. Today we're going to get into a story on how everybody became a vic. Nobody was exempt. Everybody gets it. Addiction and the seriousness behind it. So I told the story plenty of times how I started getting high at an early age, as of like about 15. Heroin. I didn't go straight into the heroin because we was already like from time to time like touching on a little coke here and there, if I could recall. Like, it's a long time ago, right? But with that being said, heroin was the one thing that really impacted my life in such a negative way that is unimaginable. So when things got bad and you don't have money and you indulging in heroin, you get the monkey on your back and you get sick. So every night I would try to do something so that the next day I didn't have to be sick, that I had hundreds of dollars, because 1,000 is never enough. You get it? It don't matter. You want more. And one would think like you good because it's not a drug that you would chase like that, but it gets chasey when your body gets immune to it, and one will start doing nothing to you. It'll probably just help you like with the pain and get over the monkey on your back. So when it got to a point where we started robbing people, it got real out of control. We used to be like, yo, I gotta go catch a Vic. So in my neighborhood, Sunset Park, we used to always go to like 8th Avenue. And as sad as it may be, that's why I don't blame some of the Asian people, respectfully, or Chinese people at the way they look at us. In those early years, that's who we used to rob. We used to go up the avenues and grab a chino. Shh. Be quiet. It became habit. So much habit that it was done on a daily basis. Sometimes a few times a day. And then it went from and it was done because they the ones that populated that neighborhood over there. And you always knew that they had money, they owned businesses. This was trickled down in my neighborhood from generation to generation, as sad as it may be. Let's catch a Vic and let's go up to a 8th Avenue. That's where it's at. As time went on, everybody started getting it. Mexicans, what so have you. So people are coming to this country to work real hard, to generate an income for their family, to feed their family. And here we go, and we robbing them, putting ourselves at risk, because some of these people are fighting back. There's stabbings involved. People are getting hurt. There's blood all over the place. Some people even died during the course of the struggle, as sad as it may seem, right? These things happen. So it became like to a point where anybody could get it. And at times when I was trying to get my life together, you know, because there was always hope. Because I was always one of those dudes that I knew this really wasn't me. Because before that, I was on some pretty boy gangster stuff. Like, I always told dudes when I was coming up and I would see people getting high after, like, when I get clean, the times I was clean, and dudes would try to like bully him because now he's getting high or he looks weak and vulnerable. I'd be like, yo, chill. Don't forget, before he started getting high, he was a gangster. You know, while we call in New York or around the world the so-called gangster. Today I see that a whole lot different, but that's for another video, right? So the times that I wanted to get my life straight, because there was still hope Like, I knew that wasn't me. I knew who I was before that. And I was missing that dude. What kept me away also from doing the right thing a lot was that I always felt like if I work at a certain spot, everybody's gonna see me that I robbed. Like, I have robbed so many people that it wasn't really out of fear for what they're gonna do to me, because I knew that, especially clean and sober, I'm gonna defend myself by any means, regardless what I did to you, right? Just the embarrassment of that. Some people didn't deserve that, and some people were actually good people. The friendships that you lose behind addiction, it's incredible, because again, you do things unimaginable that under different circumstances I would have never done that to you. We would have been friends till today, but there's no friends in that. Your only friend and your only thought is that bag and to get that monkey off your back. You're married to that bag, and that's the only thing that becomes important to you. For a lot of years of my life, I lived like that. Getting up, robbing people, and then they hitting people with so many years for robbery. It's like if you caught a body and still in all, you don't care, you taking the risk, you've become a professional robber. I seen people in the course of a robbery get killed, and still we wouldn't learn. We still doing what because the monkey is so strong, and you feel like you need that, and you feel like nobody understands you. You don't understand. I'm sick. You never went through this. So you struggling every day just to get straight. And it's a sad way to live. It wasn't till like a lot of years later that I started really paying mind to that, Jesus, my dude, you want to keep really living like this for the rest of your life? And how could you be dealing with something that can kill you? What opened my eyes a lot too was when this fentanyl came out. Fetty. And a lot of my friends started dying because the next man selling these things didn't really care that that could kill people. You want to have the bomb, the smoker, forgetting that if you sell a bag to somebody and he dies, you just caught a homicide. As sad as it may be, right? It's like, well, he wanted to get high. I get it. But the law don't work that way. That's for another video. My whole thing is, when I think about it, and being that I put that video up and I spoke about how I started getting high on heroin. Wow, bro, the people I've robbed. A lot of people. Good people, bro. You know what's so crazy? I'm on a live stream, and people that been on my channel and subscribed to us for years will tell you I'm live, and dudes are coming out like, yo, bro, you robbed me. This dude robbed me. You know, like when I see you, it's lit. It don't matter because it wasn't like, it's not like I've been sober clean for 20 years. You get it? Like, you know, you could change all you want to change. Other people remain the same. 30 years could pass by. Some people are really that hurt, and they haven't grew at all. They still doing the same things, so their attitude is still the same. They don't understand, like, you know, there's people were going through something. You know, that lady or man is really a good individual. You know, it is what it is. Let bygones be. People don't live like that, so I never sleep on nobody. You know, I never forget what I did, but I always try to remember where I'm going and where I want to be. And as I think about it, bro, it's a sad way to live. So I say all that to say, if you out there and you're getting high and you struggling with addiction and it's hard for you and you have to get up every morning to go boosting, to go in the pharmacy and steal and hope that they don't see you, just know that I was there, bro. Not once, like a million times. If you trying to call Cornerstone or Detox, ARDC on 10th Avenue, to how could you get in there? If you're trying to find a place where you can still smoke cigarettes, I've been there. Not one time. They knew me there. My picture's probably up there. And I say all that to say that anything is possible, bro. And that if you really put your mind to it, you could change. It took me a long time. And I'm not saying I'm an angel, because in the process, I slipped up. They call it slip-ups now, right? And you keep it moving. And every time I slipped up, it got worse and worse. Like, almost died, ended up in the hospital, tubes down my throat, off of one sack. Sack is a bag, a $10 bag. You know, for educational purposes only is this content. In the hopes that I could reach you, and maybe if you need to hear this, bro, that I went through that. You feel me? So anything is possible, and if you really want to stop doing something, you got to replace that with something else. You got to fall in love with something else. You got to look for that special thing within you and what's going to help you. And maybe it's telling your story to other people. Maybe it's reaching out to other people and seeing if you can help them. But I want to tell you one thing, that if you ever think about doing harm to yourself, do not do it. You're special. And I know it may feel like right now your family don't love you and nobody's there for you and nobody understands you. I understand you, bro. On the lockout, I understand you. Warpath, I understand you. You know why? I am you. You are me. I was there, not once, all my life. I still struggle with addiction. As far as like, when I put my mind on it, it's something that don't leave. But I occupy my time. Time is very important. And you got to give yourself time to want to change. But make it happen. You got to take action. You got to believe in yourself. At first, nobody's going to believe you because you said you was going to change 1,000,000 times. And you never change. You psych people. You stay clean for 2 or 3 weeks. Then you back off to the races, doing the same thing again. You stealing from your family, from the people closest to you. And you probably haven't stole from your family. But the reality of it is, of addiction, the way it goes, that's still one of your yets. It's yet to happen. I stole from people I loved. That's the first people we hurt, the people's closest to us. I'll be lying to you if I say, yeah, I didn't steal from family. My dude, when it comes to addiction, you don't believe in nobody. I've stolen from my mother for drugs. That's somebody I love with all my heart. Whether it was intentionally or not, in addiction, you leave your kids without eating. Whether you realize it or not. Because that $100 that you didn't bring home to your house could have helped out for a light bill, gallon of milk, anything. But when you open that refrigerator, it's like, oh. Hello. You could have did something, but addiction and the impact it has on you tells you that comes first, because that monkey's on your back. It's sad, bro. I had money on my head in every borough, a contract to kill me. I was sticking up drug dealers. I always attracted a lot of people that wanted to be around me and give me drugs and, yo, let's get together and work. And I'll be like, give me that. I didn't care if they killed me. Like, do me a favor, my life is miserable anyway. Addiction will have you do things and lose to your friends and lose friends and do things to your friends that you never thought you would do. So you need to understand that people do care about you. People do love you. And if they giving you tough love, it's because they don't know no better. They think that's gonna work. They trying anything. But people do care about you, and you're that important to give yourself the chance in changing and working on becoming a better you every day. It don't matter if you're 40 years old, if you're 50 years old. Sometimes we sell ourselves this thing that I already did too much damage. I used to feel like that. What I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna work, I robbed the whole world, damn near. People are gonna see me, it's gonna be a problem. If you keep thinking about that, you're never gonna change. I lived like that for a lot of years of my life. I stuck everybody up in every borough. I got beef with gorillas, with killers, right? And you can't run to your gang because you're not supposed to get high. You get it? Everybody's doing it in the gang, but they keep it. You can't run to them like, yo, I got beef with him for why? I took his dope. Hello? They're gonna wash you up. Right? So you gotta hold it down. And you gotta man up. And you really gotta wanna change. And if you gotta use me as motivation, then that's a good thing. But one thing I could tell you is that I understand you, bro. And you could do it because I thought just like you that I could never do it. There was times I didn't want to do it. Right? And you got to want to do it for you. Not for your mother, not for your kids, not for your dog. For you. Because you know you better than that. And guess what? I know that you better than that. Have no shame. There's more than 1 million people going through the same thing you going through in the world, and there's been there. The difference between them and me is that I dare keep it 1,000 and say where I come from and where I've been and where I'm trying to go. And everybody else want to hide it like it was always peaches and cream in this cold world. I love you, bro. Sincerely. And I know your pain. Because I carried the same pain almost all my life. Thank you for tuning in to On The Lockout. Let me know if you want to hear more stories like this. I kept it short. It's late. I haven't slept. Tomorrow I'll drop another one. If you guys want to hear more stories about how I stopped addiction when I was in the hospital, my overdoses, and some of my friends that died due to addiction and dealing with heroin.